Hey, hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's LaShonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, and today what I'm going to do is talk to you about a few of my favorite work at home tools. Because right now, a lot of us are working at home. I've been working at home for forever. But it's just a good conversation to continue our focus around hashtag business as usual, number one. And number two, what you can do to work on your work life balance, making sure that you're not focused on all the distractions and you are staying strategic and intentional when it comes to sustaining your business. So, three C's for me when it comes to work at home tools around communication, content creation, and cash flow. Those are the three that we're going to talk about today. But before we get there, let me start here and say, welcome to my newbies. Welcome back to my OGs. If you're catching me on the replay side, you can drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. Whenever you're watching, wherever you're watching from, feel free to say, hey. Let me know who you are and where you are today. Okay, so just check in, say hey. And if you enjoy these sessions, a couple of likes, hearts, thumbs ups, they help. So feel free to just kind of check in with me, letting me know who you are, where you are, and tapping on the hearts, the likes, and notifications too if you want to check in with me when I am live so that you can be live with me too. So, alrighty, my dear, let's do this. First in this conversation is communication, right? So, my mini me, he had community yesterday morning with his class, and they use the Google Hangout platform. Have you ever used that before, Google Hangouts? I used to use it back in the day. I know schools, they are very Google heavy. So they're using Google Classroom, they're using Gmail, they're using the Google Hangouts, like all the Google tools, they're using them, right? When it comes to communication, there are a few tools in particular that I personally love. One of my favorites is SpeakPipe. You know, I'm always talking about that. SpeakPipe is a platform that allows you to add a voice messaging system onto your website. And as a matter of fact, because I'm doing these daily sessions, I would love it if you went over to sistersense.com, you click that gray tab on the right so that you can send me a voice message and let me know what question you would like me to cover, things that you are looking to get some direction around as far as your business, and you just might have your audio featured as part of one of my sessions. So you can actually go over there and send me a voice message on sistersense.com. Just click the gray tab on the right. Now, it's super easy for you to add that tool onto your website, speakpipe.com, number one. Number two, it's Wednesday, which means today is my office hours. I've got clarity call sessions. I did a few this morning. I've got one more this evening, and I just kind of figured I would break things up a little bit and jump on here and do my web class. So normally I would use free conference call for my clarity call for my audio recordings with clients, but with everybody being at home, voice messaging, one, teleconferencing, that's a whole other beast, right? Everybody's using teleconference platforms. Have you guys found that you try to get on and it's like beep, 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 like your line is busy? So thank God I've got multiple conference lines, and Start Meeting is another one that I use. And so I've told pretty much all my clients today to meet me on my Start Meeting conference line for their sessions. And then I'm waiting, like literally my morning sessions, I just got the recordings for them this late evening, afternoon. What is it now? I don't even know what time it is. Late, early evening, is it, right? It's taking hours. There's just so many people on right now. So, what are you using when it comes to communicating with your clients? For me, those are some of the ones that I use religiously, like all the time. And normally they work perfectly for me. It's just that right now, with everybody online, we just kind of have to play this uncharted territory, situation right now when it comes to communication. So what are some tools that you're using to communicate with your audience? For me, I absolutely love SpeakPipe as well as the Start Meeting conference platform. So communication is so important. Number two, for me, well, you know what's funny? That's actually number one, right? Because communication is the first one. um, I was in conversation with someone last week, and they were having trouble getting onto the conference line on Wednesday, and she was like, "Oh, I could just give you my cell phone and we could just talk that way." And I was like, "Nope, let's try this one." I like my cell phone number is Fort Knox. Like unless you're coming out to work with me for like a weekend or a week or something, no. And that's something that you got to do when it comes to communicating with customers and clients. You do have to learn to create boundaries and separate your personal from your professional. And whoever some of you probably have had horror stories as far as working with people and them having access to you via your cell phone. A whole other story, but definitely something to be aware of when you work on the kind of tools that you need when it comes to communication. So that's number one. Number two, what I wanted to do is to talk to you about content creation. Okay. So some of the tools that I use when it comes to my content creation efforts. Now, I'm going to do this really quickly. Let me see. I've never tried it this way. Give me a second here. Looking at something really, really, really quickly. I want to. Oh, okay. I've never checked in this way. Okay, awesome. Normally I check in with you guys on the Facebook platform. I said, let me go on a different live stream that I'm broadcasting on. So I went on YouTube. So I'm on all these different platforms. So you got to kind of test it out and see how they work. So, okay, pause for a second, back at you. The next one here is content creation. So, this being the first of a new month, I wanted to start the process of sharing, or rather, resharing my Good Morning Girl Boss 31 Days of Motivation series. So, it's already in written format and it's already in audio format. And I said, you know what? I think I want to add video to it as well. So I actually went on to one of my favorite platforms, which is Wave. Wave. If you go to usesense.com/WAVVE, it'll take you to the Wave platform, which essentially allows you to take your audio based content and turn it into video. So I really easily, on my Chromebook, which I'm using right now, as a matter of fact, I was able to download day number one of Good Morning Girl Boss. The audio was like less than a minute, so it's perfect for platforms like Instagram, Up, right, Facebook, all of them. And then I went into Wave and I put in the audio. I had a cute little picture. Day one is about keeping focused, and it starts off by saying, "Where are your eyes, boss?" So there's a beautiful stock photo of a melanin magic sister, and one of her eyes is closed like this, right? So I love the photo. And I use Wave when, again, I want to turn audio content into video content. And it's great for podcasting, which is one of the things that I'm going to be talking about inside the mastermind, the different podcasting recording tools I use and how I use them. But that being said, when it comes to content creation, there are so many different tools I could possibly share with you, right? So I'm going to stick to a few that I absolutely die hard love. Wave is one of them, number one. Number two, you already know that I'm a Canva girl, but not for the obvious reasons. You could do, I'm always like one, two, three, like number one, number two. That's, I don't know why I talk that way. It's always like itemizing everything into a list. But anyway, um, in addition to the fact that I love to create my own content in Canva, I love the fact that I have clients who say, LaShonda, can you create something similar for me? And I can create it in their Canva so they can customize it inside of that platform. So if you're somebody who's crafty like myself, one of my content creation strategies is not only using the Canva platform for myself, but logging into client accounts and helping them with their customization projects. So I don't know if you've done that, but that might be something that you consider doing, especially if you're, creative and a lot of people go, "Ooh, I like what you did. Can you do something similar for me?" Right? Funny enough, the design that I did for my Good Morning Girl Boss today, I didn't actually even do it in Canva. I did it using Google Slides. Hold on. Let me pause for a second. The hubby is calling me. Hey, hubby, I'm doing a live. Yes. Snickers must have nuts. No, I don't want white chocolate. I don't want almond. I want regular Snickers. Snickers always trying to be extra with stuff. I don't got time for that. I need my regular Snicker. So, okay. He gets to go out because I work at home, so whatever, but he works at a pharmaceutical company, so he's got an essential job, right? One of those essential employees. So this whole stay at home thing. I'm like, okay, well, on your way back home, go to the supermarket, get me some orange juice and some Snickers. So he was asking me which kind of Snickers I wanted. God bless him. This quarantine, y'all, for real, legit. You staying sane right now? Are you having cravings for your favorite things? I always try to like make sure that I get as much of what we need, but then you run out and you're like, I need it. And I'm trying to keep my behind as home and not go outside. I'm trying to follow the rules, y'all. So it's been hard. All right. I keep digressing, y'all. Let me stop it. Content creation. So definitely love Wave, definitely love Canva. The graphics that I designed for Good Morning Girl Boss, I actually set those up in Google Slides. Google Slides is kind of like PowerPoint, but not. And you can use it for a lot of things. And I actually do file save as PNG or JPEG to save the individual slides as images. So Google Slides is an interesting Canva alternative, but I've created quite a few of my templates in that platform as well. And when it comes to content creation today, I've actually been in Kajabi quite a bit, working on some Kajabi projects for clients. Kajabi is a great platform for creating courses that you want to deliver to your audience. And I don't know if you use it. It can be a little bit pricey if you're not quite where you want to be as far as consistently generating enough money to legitimize something like a Kajabi for yourself. I think it's at least $200 a month, $199 or something along those lines. There is another platform that I have recommended multiple times to clients outside of Kajabi. It's called CourseCraft. It's not as like flashy as Kajabi, but it's definitely significantly not as expensive. So it's a great course content delivery creation platform alternative to that one. But I love the way, well, not all things. I'm not going to say I like the way all things are set up in Kajabi, but certain things are pretty cool. So I've been working inside of that to help some of my clients with courses. What kind of content creation tools are you using? Feel free to drop those into the comment box for me. So communication, content creation, and cash flow is number 3. So what I wanted to do is to do kind of like a cash flow, make money one-on-one conversation with you so that I can dig into some of my favorite tools when it comes to cash flow. Okay. So, hey, Don, how are you, my dear? Welcome. Yes, just regular. Hey, Levon. Hey, y'all. Welcome. So I wanted to do kind of like a cash flow one-on-one because where a lot of us are in our homes, and you're in a space where you need to make sure your money is flowing consistently. So I wanted to say, are you revenue ready? Here are some of the things that I absolutely recommend. Number one, I'm assuming everybody here has a bank account, right? This is my super, super big shirt, by the way. I don't know why sometimes I buy these things and they're like super big. This one is like super big. But number one, everybody has a bank account. Do you have the app for your bank account? Number one, so that you can see and access your funds quickly. Can you easily transfer your funds? So, hopefully, those of you who have e commerce platforms where you're selling your stuff online, you've got the usual suspects. You've got a PayPal account and a Stripe account, and your accounts are correctly connected to your bank account. I had a client who, man, I don't know, when she set something up, she didn't set it up correctly. And then her funds were just like in La La Land, right? But she thought it was in La La Land. And I was like, no, 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 they got to be somewhere. And as it turns out, because those transactions were not correctly going into her account, they actually were just hitting back to customers. So a couple of customers got her stuff for free because the accounts were not connected correctly. So do you have Stripe? Do you have PayPal? Are your bank accounts correctly connected? For the major bank accounts, I don't know about you, but I know for me, I've always loved the convenience of being able to take a picture of my checks mobily and have them deposited into my accounts. If that's not something that you've done before, maybe that's something you want to start to do, because right now, a lot of us I'm always at home. But for those of you where staying at home isn't not quite as much of a norm for you as it is for me, you may want to think about that. And then for me, number two, just checking because I have a clarity call at 6:30. Number two is, are you able to easily transfer your funds from one account to the next? So for me, my funds are automatically going from my Stripe into my business account, and my PayPal as well. But then I also have Zelle, and Zelle is a really cool feature that you can use. I think a lot of major bank accounts have some sort of Zelle, Zell, where you can instantly transfer funds to other people. But here's my Zelle hack. I use it to instantly transfer funds across my bank accounts from different companies, major bank anyway, because I have one account in a smaller bank and they don't use Zelle, but I'm able to just do instant transfers from my PayPal. So that works out well for me. But that's something to consider as well, especially if you're used to going to the bank and depositing things and you can't really do stuff like that right now. Being in a place where, again, you got your bank account apps, you check to see if where it says transfers or PayPal, I'm sorry, where it says you can transfer money or, make payments. Can you add on, do they have the Zelle feature for how I'm able to do it is with Zelle, you can connect it to a cell phone or an email address. So for one account, I have it connected to an email address, and the other one, I have it connected to my cell phone so I can transfer between the two of them. You can only use one email address for one Zelle, and you can only use one cell phone. So you can't have different bank accounts using the same email and cell phone because it's not going to work that way. It needs to have you identify one. So just out of curiosity, are any of you using Zelle to transfer funds not only to other people, but possibly across your accounts if that's something that you need to do? I want you to just be able to be smart with your cash flow. Okay, so bank apps, I love Stripe.com, their app, PayPal app, all essential to me. And then, of course, when it comes to different types of sales, one of my favorite platforms is, y'all know it, Samcart, right? So I love the fact that I can do subscription based offers on Samcart, one-time offers. I can do pay as much as you want or pay as little as you want offers. There are a variety of different payment options I can do on that particular platform. So if PayPal is the only thing that you've got available to you, that's okay. But you want to kind of level up. So I was actually talking to a client today and she said, you know what, LaShonda, I love that you've got all this content. I want to start putting together a store. There are a lot of different platforms out there that you can use to start putting your products online. I use Sells. But I mean, there's Gumroad. That's another one that people use. PayHip. They all kind of look the same as far as how they're structured. I mean, they look a little different, but the concept is still the same, that you can make your own e-commerce store. I personally like Sells, Selz, but again, there's Gumroad and PayHip and a ton of other ones. And personally, when it comes to selling individual offers, I like the Samcart platform. So I'm always telling clients if they want to check it out through me, they can go to sistasense.com/Samcart. So are you ready for sales online? Do you have a store online? Do you have your PayPal? Do you have your Stripe? Are your bank accounts correctly connected? Are you able to easily take pictures of your checks so that you can deposit them without having to leave your home, especially right now, hashtag stay at home, right? Just kind of working on that and making sure your cash flow is where it needs to be. Just checking here. On Lock have lots of backup conference tools for online. Absolutely, lots of different backup tools. If you need to do things online and one is not working. Um, yes, I had a webinar on it today. I missed that, Lavon. What did you say? You said saying something about a webinar. Okay, I'm sure you'll put it back in there. But that's it pretty much for today because I got to go. I've got to get ready for another session. And I'm still working on some stuff for clients in Kajabi. So I got to work on that as well before the hubby comes home with my Snickers. So again, feel free to email sistasense@gmail.com, or when you're on the sistasense.com website, you can click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. Let me know what questions or topics you would like me to cover, what types of tools you would like me to touch on. But hopefully today has just been helpful as far as either letting you know some of the tools that I personally love and using right now as far as my work at home tools when it comes to communication, content creation, and cash flow. And if there's anything else that you need to know, again, let me know, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. So that's it for today. Alrighty, my dears. Till tomorrow, take care.